is the person. My mom was very supportive.
A consistent team. Like I find like our team, like Sheik, like we're not really good together now.
And look forward to it.
Nolan, how's it going?
Good. So welcome everyone to our, I guess we are on our 10th or 11th issue or episode of the Auto Body Source podcast. We are really happy today to catch up with one of our old friends, Sheik Adamsaib, who is known very affectionately in the industry as Guns and Hoses.
Thank you.
You and I initially met. I looked back and it was 3 years ago. It was October 2020. So we were on. It was in the midst of the pandemic, actually.
Yes, I think it was. Yeah, you're right.
We had noticed and connected with you on Instagram, of course.
Yes.
As part of the Refinish family. And we were very excited. I felt like we developed a strong bond. You had caught my attention as the biggest motivator and cheerleader.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot
for others. Yeah. And we are actually streaming on Instagram at the same time.
I'm trying to connect with you, I think.
Let me see. Okay, here you go. I think I'm in here now. There I go. My camera was not set up. There I go. Oh. My camera was not set up. So sorry, everyone on Instagram for the for the little delay. But this is nice. We're multi-streaming right now.
Yes.
As I was mentioning, we have not caught up with you. I want to say 3 years. It was 3 years in.
Yeah, I think it's been 3 years because I have this with me here, and it says like
yes.
I think in January 2021.
Yes.
We did that, but we did the interview way before that, though.
Yes. We go back way, and for those who are viewing the podcast, we had published an article on the chat that we had with Sheik back in October 2020 and our January 2021 issue of the Auto Body Source. And at that time, I had to share in that article how inspired I was by your personality and just really your approach and perspective in the industry. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit about that. You have been such a big advocate and proponent of encouraging newcomers into the trade. Where does that passion and that motivation come from for you?
Well, to be honest, like it's more like you try to give what you've never got. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said before, like 20, 30 years ago, we never had no such thing as mentors. Basically, you want to join a trade, you get into it, and you learn as you go, right? But right now, everything is so much easier. You can connect and reach out to anyone, and ask for help. And we're always there to share our experience and knowledge. And I think I think it's not just me, but everybody here knows how important it is to welcome, support, and encourage the newcomers in the industry. So we do our best and, try to show that we're always there. You can always reach out anytime. Like I said, we never had this before. Now you can connect and reach out to anyone anytime, right? And I believe wisdom and knowledge is given by God, and it's our responsibility to share it.
Yeah, definitely. I remember you saying that back when we initially chatted. You've always been that optimistic. I get that impression. You've always been the type of person. I've called you a cheerleader many times, and I think it's a fitting I think it's a fitting name and title because that's really uh, what it takes, and it seems like what's kept you going through a lot of ups and downs. I know you had mentioned uh, when we previously chatted that you started your career back on a little tropical island, in East
Yes,
Africa, and you overcame a lot of challenges. But you've persevered, and you seem to have a really good grasp of what it takes to stay motivated. What is
you
what?
you have to, right? Because I believe positivity is key in your mindset, and I do have that kind of mindset. Like I don't stop to nothing. I'm not saying that I can do everything, but at least I'll try. And you have to be positive, whether it's at home, at work, wherever you are, right? You have to spread positivity around you. That is the only way it's going to come back to you. Like your positivity at work reflects not only on your job, on what you do, on taking pride in what you do, but also around the people you work with. Like I'm the type of person, if I'm not at work, you'll know I'm not there. Because if I am, I'll be walking around, joking a little bit with everybody, make it nice to work. As I've always wanted to be, and I think I mentioned that in our last interview last time. Like I want to wake up and be excited to go to work. And right now, I am at this point. You know, I'm loving my new job. I don't know if I've mentioned it. We just moved to the city, and I got a new job. Uh, it's been amazing. It's been amazing so far, and I know it's going to get even better where I am right now. I do have a picture that I've sent you about
Yeah,
the place that I'm working at right now. It's
yeah,
a
we can take.
beautiful place, beautiful people, great management, and the owner, Mr. Johnny, is such a nice soul. Really nice guy. You can approach him anytime, and he's always there to listen and to do whatever he can to help out, which is great because, like I told you before, uh, it's very important for me when I see a business owner or the management showing that they care. You know,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Did you move locations, or it's there in Alberta? You've been in Alberta, right? It's still there. Is
yes,
that where?
we've been in Alberta for the past 9 years, but we moved from a small town. It was really nice over there too. We've learned a lot where we were, but then we decided to move, and it just life happens, and we moved to Edmonton, which is like 5 hours from where I was before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, very nice. Well, I know that one of the things that you love to do is to give back. And you mentioned right before we hopped on today that you you had the opportunity to encourage others and help others is in terms of getting the supplies they need, and through some really generous donors and vendors within the industry. What can you tell us about that?
I happened to come across a young lady who works as an instructor at NATE, which is the University of Trade here in Alberta, right? So she teaches everything related to refinishing and bodywork. So we started talking, and then she told me maybe one of those days you should come down there and have a speech with the newcomers, which I think is a great, great idea. Because I do have a friend who's right now at NATE studying to become a prepper and all that. And I know the struggles that he faces, and I don't think it's right because he wants to be in the industry. He wants to learn. He wants to spend the rest of his life here. But if he's not getting the right encouragement and support, what happened is they quit before they even started. You know,
Hmm.
what people don't understand is, as a newcomer, some people do join the industry, either it's for being a bodyman, a refinisher, or a welder, because they like doing it. But there's also some people who join a trade, and in the back of their mind, they are constantly asking themselves, is this where I belong? Or should I try something else? So this is where we step in, and encourage them. Hey, you know what? all this is part of the learning process, the ups and downs, the mistakes. You know, you don't just become a technician in a couple of days or so, right? So this is why I say it's very, very, very important to encourage and support the newcomers, especially if they are women, you
Yeah.
know. And
So what was what and I'm showing for the any of the those who are watching the stream on Facebook or
yes,
YouTube. You in this situation you were able to help her um,
yes.
get a shipment of the big kid blocks, a blocking set. How did that
So
come about?
this is Cecile, like I said, who works as an instructor at NATE. And
Okay.
when she mentioned to come and talk to the students, I thought I always try to take it to a different level. So I thought, you know what, maybe I should reach out to them guys and see if they could hook me up with some goodies for the students, right? So eventually I reached out to Big Kid Blocks, to Kirk and Chris from Luma, from Tim Briggs, Collision Edge, and they all sent me a bunch of stuff so I could hand it to Cecile and then she could hand it out to the students. So they, because I'm sure most of them haven't seen those, right? So not only they get to see the new tools that's out there, but they get to use it and see how big of a difference it brings in the industry, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes,
It's not a surprise that you know your big heart has has benefited others. One thing I remember about you that from when I first met you is that you love masking, probably
yes,
more than anything else. And
I do, I do.
how did you come to lo- develop a love of that? Even though you're an outstanding painter, where did that start for
Thank
you?
you. So this is a HeraFix soft edge tool, which is really, really nice. And before that, I had the one from Collision Edge, which is a great tool too. They all works really great, you know. Uh, I love masking more than painting only because I think when I do a good masking job, that kind of like encourage me to do an even better paint job, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
right? So yeah, I
yeah,
take pride. I take really, really pride in time to mask my paint jobs and all that. Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Do you do you feel that there are in terms of tools, do you feel like there are certain tools that you are like are your go-tos that make a technician's life easier, or things that you've
There,
developed, tools that you kind of developed along the way?
there are quite a few, but I have the Sun Pro Light and the spray guns from Luma from Chris and Kirk, which I think are great. I just posted a video earlier to show how big of a difference it makes uh, when you have the Sun Pro Light attached to your spray gun. And then you have, like I said, the tape thing, tape caddy and all from Team Briggs Collision Edge. You
Yep.
have the HeraFix tape tool from Iron Star, and even the anti-static gun from Iron Star, which is an amazing tool. Because for us refinishers, the last thing we want to do after painting a job is to go and spend like a couple hours polishing and all that. Whereas this is where the anti-static gun comes in and helps a lot. Last time I did an eggshell finish on a Hyundai, and it was crucial to make sure there's no dirt nibs in it because you can't polish it. It has to stay flat. And I was so happy I had the Iron Star and the study gun and helped me out really nice, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yes,
Well, I've enjoyed catching up with you. I know one of the things that you've always encouraged newcomers to do is to reach out to this
anytime.
community on social media.
Yes.
Why do you feel like that's important?
Again, like I said, if we don't do that, they're gonna quit before they even start because I know how it feels. We've been there. We've been there. Even though we never had any mentors, we had no choice than to keep pushing through, right? And thank God we made it, right? But right now, it's crazy. Everything is different. So you have to really support them and explain to them. Like For example, if you are to ask me about experience, how do you define experience? You might be doing something for 30, 40 years, but never had any issues, you've always been doing it right. You've never acquired any experience. You only acquire experience throughout mistakes, which you make sure you don't repeat, right? So this is where we have to explain to them, like, hey, you're gonna make mistakes, and it's all right. Just embrace it. Just make sure you don't repeat it. Keep pushing through. We are there. And I always say to anybody who comes in as a newcomer in the shop, wherever I'm working, I'm always like, you know what? I'm there anytime. I'm there, but at the same time, I'm not. I'm there for you to reach out, even if you have to ask me the same question 10 times in the same day, it's all right. But I'm not there just so you don't feel like I'm breathing down your neck all day long, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
feel free to reach out anytime.
Yeah.
And there's not just me, there's Chris Crow, there's Todd from Island Custom Concept, which is always there for all of us, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Todd was actually, if he was free today, he was actually going to hop on this
oh
stream with us today.
man,
Yeah. He was gonna
that
he was
would
gonna
have been
pop in
nice.
and he was gonna pop in and surprise you, but
Oh man,
his schedule wouldn't let him. But he did say hello. And
yeah,
there was one last thing I was curious about, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people, at least I hadn't thought of. When you think collision repair, even if you're a student, you are very, very skilled at heavy equipment painting. And I'll show some of the footage,
uh,
the video that you showed.
yeah, that
What
was a
how did
complete
you get
job.
started in jobs that large?
It's like, sorry, it's like when you say you don't know how to swim, and then somebody just push you in the ocean and say you're gonna have to start diving. So this is basically what happened. So I've never done this back home, even though I was a painter, certified and all for about, I don't know, 15 years before I moved here. I've never done no such thing. But then I came here. Like I said, there's no such thing like I'm gonna back down too. I'm gonna at least try it, right? That was that was terrible. That mulcher was a big, big job. That was a big job. And I was the only painter for both the shops we had in the town I was before.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So
Yeah, you learn as you go.
I feel like that's encouraging for any any newcomers who who want to branch out, or maybe you get tired of all the buff jobs, cutting and buffing.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of hone your skills on some heavy
Yeah. And
equipment.
what's very important is no matter how many years you've been doing it, how much experience you have, always keep your feet to the ground. Like I would go at work if there's a kid who's on school holidays and just helping out washing vehicles. I always like to approach them and ask them like, hey, how do you like it here? Do you want to try something else, like being a body man or a prepper or something? And what's more important is when you talk to them, you got to talk to the kid in his own language. Don't try to pull out the all certified technician stuff on them, and make them feel comfortable, and talk to them and explain to them uh, the great advantages that we have in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Because I was talking to the HR at the shop yesterday, and I said, you name a painter around the world right now, and I'm pretty sure I can reach out to them. How beautiful is that? How many people on Instagram I've never met, I've never even seen, but we are still so bonded, strongly connected, and we believe that we learn from each other and we grow together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it.
That's right, man. Words to live by.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we were able to catch up with you,
Oh,
Sheik,
thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
as
It's always a
always.
pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can check out all of Sheik's master
Oh, I wouldn't
refinishing
say
work.
that. I
And
wouldn't say that. You learn every day.
you could, yeah, you're well on Instagram. Your handle is guns and hoses,
Yes.
all together at and underscore is the
Underscore.
last
Yes.
character. Yep.
Yes.
Guns and hoses underscore. Sheik, thank you so much, my friend.
Oh,
We will
thank you so much, Nolan. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah. We will catch up with you again soon.
For sure.
Take care, my friend.
You too. You have a great weekend.
All right.
Bye bye.